Hey guys, today we're headed to an indoor range to shoot for the first time in probably a good while. Just for us, we happen to just frequent outdoor ranges more often than indoor ranges. And so we decided to talk a little bit about indoor ranges. You're going to see some footage and things like that, shooting at indoor ranges, and just talk about the pros and cons of it. Indoor range is definitely a viable option for sure. Be able to get trigger time and things like that. There's just different aspects of it. First off, what's nice about it is usually indoor ranges are attached with a gun store, which means there's gear there. There's handguns, weapons, different things like that you can check out and see if there's maybe things you need to get better, different things like that. As well, usually with the indoor range and the gun store is a gun rental section, maybe just because of what the owners or the employees have themselves. They let them be rented out, or a gun store takes in something, maybe a trade-in or some that's a little older handgun, or just someone doesn't want it anymore, they didn't like it or something like that. They, instead of trying to resell it, they just pop it over to the indoor range and let it be used as one of the gun rental weapons. And so then you can go in and maybe you haven't shot a gun you've been looking at, you've checked out all the specs about it and things like that, but you don't know how it feels, things like that. So you can actually go there and check out for a small fee, depending on what you're wanting to do. Usually they do maybe like the same caliber, or just all pistol, all rifle, different things like that. And so you can see how these different firearms that maybe you've been thinking about getting actually shoot and feel, and if you actually want to pull the trigger on taking one of those firearms home with you. So that's always a cool aspect about indoor ranges. Also, is indoor ranges usually lend themselves a lot more to marksmanship, zeroing and things like that, because you're just in a smaller space, you focus on one target. You can zero the weapons and maybe do more marksmanship, trying to get everything right, fundamentals wise, so that you can get that nice base level before you then start progressing and doing more self-defense applications, training, and different things like that, trying to do real time, real speed, and stuff like that. So there's things like dot torture drills and different things like that come easily at indoor ranges that you can still do. Now, obviously, there's cons with it. You are in a structure itself, and you're going to be probably in a stall, so it's kind of smaller. You're enclosed. You can't move, things like that. You're probably only engaging, like we said, one target, not multiple targets. So there's that fact. Usually, indoor ranges don't let you draw from the holster, or if they do, they have you provide proof that maybe you've taken some sort of training that you are okay and proficient at drawing from the holster, or they make you take their own kind of class before you can draw from the holster to shoot. And then a lot of places, indoor range, they don't allow more than one shot, say, per second. They don't allow rapid fire. There's a few, every now and again, the diamond in the rough, that maybe they let you do a controlled pair, 3 rounds as fast as possible, but then you still have to take, say, a second in between shots and things like that. And so then, of course, like we said, it lends itself more towards marksmanship skills and fundamentals than necessarily actually practicing like real life self-defense would be. So these places definitely have these rules, but we don't want to necessarily think of them in the negative. Obviously, for us, we do see them as debilitating our ability to train in self-defense, but it's mainly in place for good reasons, depending on just, obviously it's a building, it's a structure, the back stop, however it's made, or different things like that. They're trying to take as less damage as possible for their building, and because usually with indoor shooting ranges get more beginner shooters than experienced shooters, especially if they're in the city, a city, people just kind of don't shoot a lot as much, and so maybe they just are like, hey, we should go shooting, and they'll hop in at an indoor shooting range. So these indoor ranges kind of have these rules and guidelines set in place so that someone that's a beginner shooter isn't trying to do more than they're, you know, really trained or proficient at doing, and so it keeps obviously their, you know, building safe and the range safe for a good reason. Then the range can be around for a lot longer, and you know, then you can be able to still use it, but also for, you know, us, for other shooters, keeping us safe, making sure no harm comes to us by just keeping those beginner shooters kind of locked down in simple things like that. Also, thinking about indoor ranges. Now, like I said, we frequent outdoor ranges more, and you know, there's nothing wrong with going to an indoor range. We would just suggest trying to find a good indoor range. If that is your only option, try to find a good one, maybe a one that depending on if it's, you have to get maybe a membership or just go to, instead of the normal hours, maybe special events or things like that, where they have special like shooting events, or you know, different things like that that lend themselves more towards self-defense. Maybe they let you go past the stall and then you're actually able to engage multiple targets, or you know, multiple rounds and things like that, kind of more lending itself towards what we want as self-defense application, is definitely something you want to find, you know, if you aren't able to find an outdoor range. So really, it comes down to, if you do want, you know, if you do want to be able to still practice your self-defense applications, find an indoor range that works best towards what you need to work on. For sure, there are ranges out there. You just kind of have to find them. Some of them, you know, maybe won't let you do some things, and that's okay. It's, you know, maybe not the best thing for you, but it's not something to knock it just because they're trying to, you know, keep, you know, us safe and things like that. Thanks a lot, guys. See you later.